How do you do the research?
I mean, what? It's like promo kar rahe hain.
No. See, when my family was buying their first car, I think it was an Ambassador. Dad just showed up with this used Ambassador one day. So that was the end of research.
Correct.
We didn't even know we were buying a car. When we bought the Maruti 800 though, which replaced this Ambassador many years later and many failures later, etc., etc. We went through the cycle of trying to do the research, but it was really difficult because you had to go to the showroom, get the physical brochure, get a drive, and then the dealer may not give you a drive because Maruti 800s were practically sold out.
Yeah.
He actually didn't have a demo vehicle to give you a drive in. So you had to talk to people who had Maruti 800s, borrow it from somebody, ask them, whatever. But there was no other option. So it was a Premier Padmini, it was another Ambassador for the family, or it was the Maruti 800, which had like, I think, 1.5 variants. So it was a really simple choice. I think today the job is complicated, which is I'm saying, how would you start research on a car?
The easiest is, of course, to read and watch.
To watch
MotorInc or any other videos that you would like to watch, right? People will want different viewpoints.
Sure.
By all means, go out, collect all of them. And then when you experience the vehicle, you'll know what is making sense for you, right? And you will be able to kind of connect the dots then for yourself, right?
Yeah. So what I'd like to add to that is that when you're watching somebody's review, okay, they have an objective mindset and a subjective mindset. And the combination of that makes whatever that reviewer is going to say. And it's not wrong, right, or judged. It's how it is, right? You will resonate with a certain kind of reviewer's mindset and you will not resonate with another reviewer's mindset. When you're watching all of these reviews, I think it's useful to figure out who you resonate with and then follow that more closely than the rest. So that when you go into a car and you say, I think this handles well, you're a new driver, you don't know what handles well is. But then you can connect the dot to a reviewer you identify with who also said that this drives well, so that it makes your database of what is good behavior in a vehicle clearer for you earlier, instead of blindly following whoever YouTube decides to show you. Okay? When we are doom scrolling like this, we often don't worry about the credibility of what we just scrolled past, right? So you could see a person who really knows his stuff say this is a good thing, and a person who doesn't know their stuff say this is a good thing. Both the opinions can't have the same level of value, which is why to me, research has to be done a little bit more cautiously than do it a lot. Figure out who you think you can trust and whoever it is, and then take them more seriously than the people who you can't figure out the history and geography of his. And you will be flooded with a fire hose of information when you say, should I buy Nissan Magnite? Right? Everybody and their uncle has done a Magnite review, including the people who own one.
Right.
And the professionals. Who do you listen to? And remember, the professional has seen X number of vehicles that year, and he has a bigger database of reference points as to what is considered average for the segment, high and low. But the Magnite owner is only reporting his unique singular experience, plus whatever he's able to speak to other owners when he meets them for service, or if there's somebody in the family who also has a Magnite. Their data set is much smaller. Who do you take more seriously is a very difficult and a very personal choice. You'll have to decide, right? Because there's no way that you'll meet 3,000 Magnite owners, which is a decent sample size, and then you realize 2,998 had a great time with their Magnites, and 2 Magnites really suffered. That tells you should be okay if you buy a Magnite. But what if you met only those 2 and you saw only those 2 guys' videos because the other 2,998 couldn't be bothered to make a video about it because they're just having a great time with the Magnite.
It's just working for them. Yeah.
So the research part is a little tricky, but you have to wade through that cesspool. Don't take the spec sheet too seriously. Take your experience of what happened in the car when you went and got a test drive more seriously. If for any reason the dealer can't give you a test drive, look for a different dealer who will take you more seriously. If you don't ignore dealers who don't give you test drives and don't take you seriously, it becomes the norm for what dealers are going to get away with. It's the dealer's job to make sure that you know what you're buying into. And part of that is the test drive. And part of that is, their job is to sell the car, but it's also for you to make a good decision because then they want you to come back and buy their next car. And if they mess that up, I was going to use a much stronger word, but we're not allowed to. But if they mess that up, then you need to find a better dealer. If you watch this video, we're normally supposed to say thank you. What we'd rather do is you hit like, share, and then subscribe. Not just this channel, the main MotorInc channel also. I mean, why not?